Hey everyone, it's Jen. Welcome back to Yarn Purpose. Today I'm here with perhaps my favorite video yet. It's time to have a Rhinebeck recap and haul. Hey everyone, it's Jen. Welcome back to Yarn Purpose. Today I am dedicating, once again, an entire video to my Rhinebeck experience and haul. I have a ton of yarn piled up over here. I can't wait to tell you about everything that we did on our trip. We really had a great time. So I went to Rhinebeck with a few of my friends here in the Chicagoland area. 5 of us flew out to Boston and 2 of our friends drove. So we actually first met up in Salem, Massachusetts last Wednesday, and we went on a walking tour of Salem and learned sort of about the history and of the area and learned about witches and stuff. It was really fun. We stopped into Circle of Stitches, which is a yarn store there. I actually resisted and didn't buy any yarn while I was there. I did buy an enamel pin, but I didn't bring it over here. Circle of Stitches was a really cute shop, and we just kind of walked around the town. Then on Thursday, we went and drove to Webb's, which is also in Massachusetts, and did a little shopping there as well. While there, I'm going to show you what I bought there tomorrow in my coffee ketchup because I did already knit it. I just bought 1 ball of sock yarn and just some needles, but I actually already knit the socks that I bought the yarn at Webb's. So I'm going to save that for tomorrow's video. And then after that, we drove to our house that we rented in Woodstock, New York. So we got there to our house on Thursday and then sort of let the whirlwind weekend of Rhinebeck begin. So for us, it pretty much started on Friday. The first thing we went to was Needles Up, which is a little like pop-up little shop, little like mini shopping experience that was set up, and it was at the Best Western Plus in Kingston. And so we went there and picked up a couple things, and so I'm going to go ahead and show you what I got. I picked up a few, again, I have them, they're all now spread in all of my different knitting bags, but my first stop was to Tuft Woollies, and I picked up some of these little hand and body balms. This one here that I haven't opened yet is Chai Spice, but I also got the plum and amber, and then I also got the, I think it was black tea and bergamot, and they smell really, really good. So they're just kind of like little lotion balm things for your hands. So I picked that up from Tuft Woollies. I also got an enamel pin, which I've put on one of my bags. I'll show you in a minute. So that's what I bought from Tuft Woollies. And I'll leave links to everybody, of course, down below in case you want to try to see, like go visit their online stores. And then the other thing I bought was a fat squirrel bag. Last year at Needles Up, I did not buy a fat squirrel bag, then regretted it because they're so pretty. I love the fabric that she uses. And so I didn't buy a fat squirrel bag last year, and actually then later on, like a couple months later, she had an update and I bought a bag on her site. But I really just wanted to get a bag from Fat Squirrel while at Needles Up. So this is the one I chose. I don't know, I think she does have bags that are bigger than this one, but I feel like I could fit pretty much any size shawl that I make in this bag. Even the start of a sweater, probably most of a sweater you could fit in this, cram it in there too. And it's like this nice like canvasy fabric. It's really nice. It's got the zipper and the tie, and then the inside's just like, I don't really know anything about fabric, sorry, but it's like this nice like kind of canvasy. It's more canvasy or denim or something on the outside, but so yeah, that was from Fat Squirrel. So that's what I bought at Needles Up. And then after that, we drove over to Saugerties to go to Indie Untangled. I don't remember if I talked about it last year in my Rhinebeck haul video, but Indie Untangled in 2017 was an extremely popular event, and it was extremely crowded, and while I was able to do a little bit of shopping there last year, it just was a little crazy. But this year, they really sort of took that feedback of like last year was so crazy, and they really made it so organized this year. So we bought tickets ahead of time and went to the 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. time slot. So we had to park our car sort of at a like satellite lot a mile away. And they had shuttle buses that were taking you back and forth from the parking lot. I mean, they were basically school buses for the most part, but they were taking you from the parking lot to the event, which was really great because there wasn't a lot of parking at the actual venue in Saugerties. But on the way there, we got there kind of early, so the shuttle buses, some of the buses were making stops in town in Saugerties, and so we actually stopped and went to the yarn store in Saugerties. And so I did buy one thing while I was there. The yarn store in Saugerties is Perfect Blend Yarn and Tea. So they had yarn and they had tea, but I just bought one skein of yarn. I've been very into the speckles later. You'll see, especially tomorrow in my coffee catch-up, you're gonna see a little more speckle action, just what I've been working on lately. So this one's just kind of a variegated, kind of has like a little bit of speckliness going on. This is from Barnyard Knits, and this is, let's see, it's her Barnyard sock, and the colorway is Magnolia. It's a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 463 yards for 100 grams. Colorway is Magnolia. I don't know if I said that yet. So I just got one of these. I don't know if I'll make socks or just a small little shawlette or cowl or something, but since we went to the yarn store, I really wanted to pick something up while I was there, and this was like the perfect thing to pick up there. So that was from Perfect Blend Yarn and Tea in Saugerties. After that, we got back on the bus and went to Indie Untangled, and the venue where it was at was beautiful. It was very well organized. So we had wristbands and stuff to get in. They had a timer on the wall. So the way it worked was you had tickets for your 2-hour window. You had to be out at the end of the 2 hours. So it was funny. They had projected like on the wall, like how much time you had left, which I thought was really kind of cute. We went in there and shopped, and there was a few things that I knew that I wanted to get. And then of course, you know, you always go off the rails a little bit too. So the first stop I made was to Shelley Can. I had actually pre-ordered some things from Shelley to pick up there. And so I picked up her Sheep and Wool Festival tote bag. I got the red one. She also has sort of a natural one too, but this is like definitely my color. So it's so cute because you can put the pins right on it. So I got this pin I pre-ordered. It says, "This is my Rhinebeck sweater," which is just a project bag with yarn, which I thought was cute. I also got the I Feel Like Knit. I think I bought this one. I did not pre-order this one. I actually bought this one in her booth. And then this is also a Shelley Can pin, but this was an exclusive Tuft Woollies pin. So I actually bought that pin while at Needles Up from Tuft Woollies, but I had to, of course, put it on the bag. So I have a ton more pins here at home, and I have a ton of Shelley Can pins. So I look forward to putting more pins on this awesome tote bag. I just have like, everywhere we went, we were getting a lot of tote bags. So inside, there's just like basically more tote bags, but it's really nice. It's very nice fabric. There's sort of like these sections. I like that there's a section in here sort of to separate. So like you don't have to put your yarn right up against where the pin backs are in your bag. So again, that's from Shelley Can. I also had pre-ordered this other bag from her. You could use it as like a sock bag or a notions bag. I'm not really sure what it's intended for, but it's cute, and it's just got cute little sayings on it. I like this. You can't spend what you can't see. Invisible money, and it's like a credit card. Just like really cute for a little fiber festival. So again, I pre-ordered that. And then there was the yarn at Indie Untangled. So let's see what else. Oh, I pre-ordered this too from Shelley Can, and it's only all bent up because of my bad packing. It came to me perfectly. But if you follow me like on Instagram, you may know that I love putting stickers in my planner and decorating my planner. So these are some stickers that she had. So I pre-ordered those too. Okay, anyway, but then getting back to the yarn. So I had a few sweaters, 2 sweaters that I knew I wanted to get yarn for over the course of the weekend. One is the Brunswick by Olive Knits. It's like a short sleeve top, which I might make long sleeve. But anyway, so you sort of use a speckle yarn for the top, and then the bottom there's like a little color work, and then it goes to a solid. And so I thought at Indie Untangled I wanted to try to find my yarn for that there, and I did. So I have this to make the Brunswick. I'll leave a link to the pattern down below. It's really cute. And so it was funny, I like looked around at like pretty much every single booth and was just, you know, it was a little overwhelming. There's so many people, there's so much yarn, you want everything. And then I finally made my way back to the Magpie Fibers booth, and it wasn't so insane in there. I was able to get in. And so my friend Beth, who I was there with, she saw this skein, and then I saw this skein, and we like both grabbed for the skeins. Like she grabbed for this one and I grabbed for this one at the same time, both of us wanting it for the Brunswick. So Beth and I actually got the same colors to do the Brunswick sweater. So we will have matching sweaters whenever we get around to making them. So the yarn here from Magpie Fibers is the Swanky Sock Base, which is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. It is 378 yards for 115 grams. So it's a little getting towards the more heavy fingering side, I would say. And so the speckle one is colorway Smoke and Mirrors. And then the solid is Strange Brew. And Beth and I just also appreciated that we had like gone to Salem on this witch tour, and we thought that these colorway names were like a little bit spooky. So, but we love the colors. And like, this is not necessarily like a color I normally wear like close up to my face, but I feel like this is going to go towards the bottom. So I think that this will be really nice. So I don't know when I'm going to start that Brunswick sweater, but whenever I do, it's going to be so pretty. I cannot wait. Yeah, I'll talk more about sweater knitting progress tomorrow in the coffee catch-up. And then I thought I was going to be done at Indie Untangled, but you know how it goes. So I went into the Farmer's Daughter booth just to see what they had. I've never used or bought a Farmer's Daughter yarn before. And then I walked out with these three. Most likely I will put them together, probably in a design or something down the road. And this is Juicy DK, which is 100% superwash merino, 274 yards per 100 grams. So the orange here is Porch Pumpkin, and the speckly one in the middle is Hill Country. This one's Hill Country. And then this gray one is Chinook Woods. Woods? Yes, Woods. Winds. Chinook Winds. So that is the three I got from Farmer's Daughter. So, like I said, I don't know, maybe a shawl or something. It can make a pretty good size shawl. So we'll see, but that was sort of impulse purchase at Indie Untangled. So that's, that was what I bought at Indie Untangled. So then that was Friday. So then Saturday was Rhinebeck, and there was more yarn to be had. Okay, Rhinebeck, I have to tell you, it does live up to the hype. This is my third time now going to Rhinebeck, and it's great every time. I just really love going there. It's worth it to save up to go there. You know, I think if you can try to get there one time in your life, you should try, because it really does live up to the hype. Sometimes I know you go to these events and you're like, yeah, that was great, but it doesn't necessarily like live up to the hype or something. I don't know. Like, that's at least how I feel. Rhinebeck to me does live up to the hype. So we went on Saturday. We got there right when it opened. We waited in line. And our first stop was, we went to the Madder Root booth. Last year I did buy a Madder Root bag. It was insane in there. And a couple of my friends were looking for some things, but they were, either they didn't have them or they were already sold out of what they wanted. So I didn't get anything from Madder Root, but they do have really great bags, and I do still love my bag from last year. And then after that, we went over to O-Wool, and I knew that I wanted to get some yarn from Jocelyn at O-Wool, so I definitely got a lot. I only just pulled out one skein of this one. The first thing I bought was 10 skeins of this. This is O-Wash Worsted, and this is, I always like to tell you guys what's in everything. It is 100% machine washable certified organic merino, 206 yards per 100 grams, and the colorway I got is Juneberry, so it's like a nice deep red. You may recall from my Izumi sweater that like this is like totally my color I love to wear. So I got 10 skeins of this so I can make the sashiko by Bristol Ivy, which is a pretty recent sweater pattern of hers. I'll leave it linked below. It looks like such a cool knit, so I got the yarn to make that sweater. And then I bought, you know, then I just bought a little more yarn too. So then I bought these 3 skeins here, and this is the O-Wash Sport yarn, which is also 100% machine washable, certified organic merino, 336 yards per 100 grams. So my friends Beth and Melissa, who were with us when we were at the yarn store in Saugerties, they had bought 3 balls of yarn to put together to make into, I don't know if they picked a pattern yet, but they both bought the same. And they were similar in colors to this, maybe not exactly. I feel like they might have had something that was a little more going towards brown, but anyway, it was a really beautiful color combo. So while at the O-Wool booth, I sort of jumped on the bandwagon sort of and bought these 3 to go together. So the gray is Silver Maple, and this darker one is Erdenheim. I think that's how you say it. So it's kind of like a bluish gray. And then this light blue one is Cuckoo Flower. So very pretty. So then you'll see, I'll talk about this more as I'm showing you more yarn. From this sort of was born the idea that I should buy, if I'm buying yarn that I think I want to design with down the road, I should kind of go with some of them being a little more towards beachy, so that they could like be a collection, a mini collection of shawls that were sort of beach inspired looking colorways or something. So anyway, that's the first one. Then, oh, well, I guess I have the second one here. Another thing I bought on Saturday was from Spirit Trail Fiberworks. And you can see, I feel like this is kind of beachy too. Maybe it's like the blue and the coral together, I think. So this skein is, let's see, it's the Philomena yarn. Yeah, Philomena, which is, both of these are Philomena. So they're 100% superwash merino. This one's 438 yards for 100 grams. The colorway on this is Crystal Ice. And then I got, this is the mini skein kit, and it's Sweet Coral. And so this is 6 mini skeins, so it's 522 yards. So I'm going to put these together in some way. I don't know yet, but that's kind of going with my beachy theme so far. So then I bought that. And then I went to White Birch Fiber Arts. She has previously been at Indie Untangled, but she actually got a booth at Rhinebeck this year, so she was actually at the New York Sheep and Wool Festival. And so I got two more skeins of her yarn. I do love her yarn. I'm actually wearing my blue rainbow socks today. That is her yarn. So now I got the purple rainbow. She was at Stitches Midwest in August, and I wanted to get one skein there, and I did. I bought the black with the rainbow, but I also really love the purple with the rainbow, so I told myself, well, just get one at Stitches, and then you can get another one at Rhinebeck. So this is purple, and then does the little thin rainbow. And the colorway on this one is Purple Haze, and her yarn is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards for 100 grams. So again, Purple Haze, so it's a big chunk of like purple, and then like the thin like 1 or 2 stripe rainbow. And then the other one I bought is Midnight Rainbow, and so this one's a little bit different. It's got the navy blue and then the rainbow stripe, and then navy blue and then the rainbow stripe. So I think the stripes are more like even, but it's like a thin stripe of blue, thin stripe of the color, thin stripe of blue, thin stripe of the color. So those are my 2 skeins from White Birch Fiber Arts. The other thing that I purchased on Saturday was a bag from 3 Bags Full, but I do not have it here. So the great thing about 3 Bags Full is that if you see a fabric you like, but she doesn't have it made in the bag size you want it in, you can pay for it there at Rhinebeck, and then she will send it, she'll go home, make it, and send it to you. So it's kind of like getting a custom order. So there was a gray fabric that had like sort of knitting tattoo themed. And I do already have a knitting tattoo themed bag from her, but this was like a totally different fabric I actually hadn't seen before. So I ordered that bag from her, but I won't be getting that for probably like 4 to 6 weeks or something. But that's what I bought on Saturday. So let's get into what I bought on Sunday. Okay, now to Sunday. So basically what my friends and I do is Saturday night after we get home, like back to our rental house, we sort of do show and tell with everybody, which is super fun because even though we mostly stick together while we're shopping, you don't see everything that everybody bought. You might not have gotten to squish the yarn that they bought yet. So we get home on Saturday night, we do show and tell, and then we make our list for when we go back the next day. And so Sunday we only stayed at Rhinebeck for a couple hours. It was a little bit colder. And we had done so much shopping between Friday with Needles Up and Indie Untangled. We had been to 3 yarn stores actually. So by the Sunday of Rhinebeck, you know, I mean, I'm not going to say that we were getting yarned out because can you really get yarned out? But I mean, it was just like, you can only shop so much. You can only, I mean, you really can only knit so fast, and we'll probably go to Rhinebeck again in the future. So we were only there for a couple hours on Sunday. But you know, we managed to do pretty okay, in the few hours we spent there shopping. So I first hit up the Neighborhood Fiber Co. booth. I love Neighborhood Fiber Co. yarn. So I found this to go along with sort of my beachy collection that's formulating in my head. And so this is the Studio DK, and this is 100% superwash merino, 275 yards for 4 ounces. And so I got 3 skeins in the Mount Vernon colorway, which in my mind kind of looks like sand. And then I got 1 skein of this blue in the Hollands Market. So I'm going to put these all together, and this is the one out of the sort of beach collection thing that's formulating in my mind. Like, I already know how the shawl is going to look in my head, so hopefully I can make it work out on paper / in a shawl. So that's from Neighborhood Fiber Co. And then the other thing I bought from Neighborhood Fiber Co. were these 2 skeins. And again, it's funny how your friends, like, they buy stuff and then you're like, oh, I need that too. My friend Jenny had bought 3 skeins of this. She had these 2 colorways and a 3rd one, and she had a specific pattern already in mind. I just really loved this color combination together. This is the Capital Luxury Sport, which is 70% merino, 20 cashmere, 10% nylon, 360 yards for 4 ounces. And the green is Bel Air. The variegated speckly action is Swoon. I just really love these 2 together. I don't know what I'm going to make with them. I will figure it out later, but I just, yeah, really love these 2. So those came home with me. Then I thought I was done. Oh, I thought I was done shopping, but I was not. My friend Melissa, who I was there with, she comes over, she goes, I saw something beachy at the Fiber Optic booth, because I had told my friends that now I was looking for the sort of beachy colored yarns. So then I ended up with these 2. And they're so beautiful. So these are actually gradient yarns. They're just in the skein. So it goes sort of from this like light corally orangey pink to sort of this dark blue. So I got 2 of them, and they are called Unified Gradient, and it's her cashmere yarn, which is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10 nylon, 470 yards for 4.4 ounces, and the colorway on this is Shoreline. So just really pretty. And she had them in the Fiber Optic booth. She had what am I trying to say? She had samples of the yarn caked up to show the gradient like in the cake, but you bought them in the skein. So they're so beautiful. I'm going to just make some giant lacy shawl with that. I cannot wait. And then finally from Fiber Optic booths, I had seen another gradient of this one, or very similar, but then she had the mini skein, so I decided to try to get, I decided to try the mini skein pack instead of getting another gradient yarn. So she had this in the gradient cake like this, but I decided on the mini skeins. So this is also that cashmere yarn, and this is 6 skeins at 140 yards each. And so you're getting a total of 8 ounces, 840 yards. The colorway on this is Lazy Days. So this is not to go in my beachy collection. This was just it's pretty and I want it. So yeah, so that's that yarn. It's really pretty. I feel like it could almost read, it's not quite like Christmas, but I feel like you can make a very nice shawl and wear it around the holidays or something. It's very pretty. Can't wait to use it. okay, that is it. And so that was it. We went back pretty early on Sunday back to our house and just spent the day just knitting and knitting and knitting and knitting and just watching movies and having a good time. And then on Monday, our friends that were driving drove back to Illinois, and the rest of us that were flying, we had a little time before we had to get to the airport. So we just walked around Woodstock, like the little downtown like shopping area. We walked around down there, then just headed to the airport and came back home. So my suitcase was 1 pound under the limit to without having to pay like a ton of money for being too heavy. And in addition to my suitcase being really heavy, I also had to carry on this entire bag was stuffed with yarn. So, but we managed to get it all home, so that's good. But it was a really great time. It was great getting to run into some of my friends that I really only get to see at events like this. So we had a really great time. So that is the Rhinebeck recap and haul for me. If you like this video, go ahead and give it that thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos from me, including a coffee catch-up, will be coming down the road just tomorrow. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you like, you can turn on the notifications to be notified whenever I upload a new video. And I hope everybody has a great week, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.